Jolly Giant Tokushoryu may have won the January title, but it's another man who's commanding all the TV time. Little magician Enho. Saturday saw him appear in a Hakuho documentary repeated on Sunday afternoon. He was then featured on Osamu Hayashi's popular show just hours later, and then guested on another entertainment program the following night. Add this to his Sogo commercial and junk sports appearance, and you see a man heavily in demand. NHK Magazine made sure to get their prize interview, excerpts from which I shall now quote. People may say that 8 wins should have been enough for the technique prize in January, but I don't feel bitter about missing out. There were a lot of candidates this time. The committee asked me to win on the final day. I was well aware of that condition, and therefore more nervous than at any other time in the tournament. Ultimately, I missed out on the prize, but I gained something bigger. Experiences which stand me in good stead for the future. Experiences which showed me my weak points and things to improve. Experiences which allowed me to sample the atmosphere of the biggest bouts, to learn the things you can't possibly find out about the top guys unless your flesh actually collides with theirs. Some of what I learned was totally different to what I'd always assumed. I had some fine moments during the tournament, but the match which left the biggest impression was actually my loss to Takakeisho. He just crushed me. I could do nothing in response. I was made to realize the true power of an Ozeki. That is how a top guy fights. The bout showed me how limited my power seems by comparison. The strength of his impact, everything about him was just different level. The pushing, timing, the distance he kept. I never felt such sensations before in the ring. Ever. My confidence was crushed. But as I said, the bout showed me exactly what I need to work on. So now, I want to put on extra weight and muscle to better resist opponents, and achieve better balance between upper and lower body. I was beaten for power so many times in January, and cannot compensate for that with speed alone. Against the Sekiwake and Ozeki, I was expected to lose from the off, so I just gave those matches all I had. My mental toughness got me through those daily challenges. I wasn't going in blind. I'd watched them on TV and on tour, especially on the days when I was unable to train myself. And from my ringside vantage point, I asked myself what I'd do if I were fighting them. Built up an image of how to defeat them. And luckily, those images proved correct this time. However, I didn't over-strategize. I'm not yet strong enough to do that. Against Go-Edo, a man I'd watched on TV in my teens, I was really nervous. His energy and aura were something else. I trust my left hand and wanted to attack with that, but the full start made my mind go blank. Everything I did after that was just instinct. My body simply moved naturally. The leg pull attempt on Asanoyama I concocted the day before. I understand his left leg is further forward when he goes for the outside left grip, and is therefore easier to grab, but I worried that he might repel me on that side, so I went for his right leg instead, the one he doesn't put power into at the tachiai. And when I failed with that, I reacted rapidly to put my backup plan in gear. I'd calculated up to that second move. You won't know this, but I actually hurt my neck on day 1 against Takarafuji, meaning I couldn't charge with the head for the remaining matches. That made things harder, and I think the main reason I got the winning score in the end was because so many matches were first-time encounters. My foes simply weren't prepared for me. But next time, they will be. They're not going to be falling for the same tricks. So here is where my strength really gets tested.